to see some blue circuits. There we go. Look at that. There's such a satisfying sound. I want our 3 circuit types going on here. That'll fill that up. What's going on with my plastic? I don't want to crack into petroleum. Up! God damn it! Okay, yeah, this is annoying. Okay, so the problem is our loop is not taking into consideration the new track swapping that I did. This track is coming down to here, which then continues on down into here, but then they need to turn around. So they've been going down here. Actually, no, the plastic's been going up into here and then coming back down and turning around here, ending up on the side of the track that's supposed to be going eastbound. So we need to run that there. Then the problem becomes that this needs to instead join up over here. So it can't be symmetrical. This here is pointless, but if we wanted to turn around, yeah, we would need to come in through here, but then this would need to cross over. So that gets us on both sides. No, hang on. Let's redo this whole thing. So this side needs to get up to the plastic like that. And then we need to depart onto this side of the track, which is like that. Then we can also depart onto this side down here. And then we need to turn around if we're on this side of the track and we want to go back the other way. So we can turn around. Guess we could just do it simple like that. Oh, no. Get rid of this tree. And then same thing would have to go for this side, which would be like this. Okay, there we go. And we probably need another connection here. That. There we go, that looks better. So now let's go sort these trains out. Okay. Fingers crossed that sorts the train out for good. And how is our plastic doing now? Oh, it's full. So the last problem now, all of these green circuits are going entirely into the production of red circuits and blue circuits, which means I have none left over to fill up the train, which is a problem because we need copper from somewhere else, some other supply. We can fit it over here. Okay, I'm having an idea. If I had another bus worth of copper plates that goes here, and I duplicated these guys again, and if I then built a train station down here to deposit copper plates sourced from elsewhere in the factory, this might work. And where the copper will come from in question is down here, because this is not being used anymore, especially since I can just import the electric circuits. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So if I deconstruct all that, a double-sided loader, go here. Ooh, yep, that'll fit. Oh, that just builds so quick. That's nice. Okay, this is going to be our copper drop-off. Okay, we're going to need the maximum amount of speed that we can get out of these drills, which means we can't do any of this efficient spacing between them. Gonna have to go pedal to the metal. And then we should build our smelting array. Let's just copy a small amount of it. Smack bang in the middle there. How's that looking? Oh, it's full already. Okay, let's power these guys up so they can start loading a train. So this train is going to pick up from the copper mine until it has full cargo. And then it's going to head over to the copper drop-off until it has empty cargo. And in between that, if it's ever running low on fuel, it'll go and grab the fuel. In this case, it's trying to, but it has no fuel to even get there. And the same story goes for the other train sitting at the electronics factory, so I need to provide some fuel manually. Okay, let's start with this train. Fill you up with fuel. And then fill this guy up with fuel. Off he goes. Why is this so damaged? What's going on there? Is it too heavy? Is that a thing? Ooh. What's up with you? Where are you trying to go to? Copper drop-off. Well, you should be able to get there. Oh! There's a rail missing. One tiny little rail brings down the whole network. Oh, wait a minute. What happened here? So this train just ran into the back of this train and destroyed its lube tank. How did that happen? I guess maybe as it left the station, it was picking up speed and then the plastic train hit it? How am I going to fix that? Ah, with train signals. Right. I probably should have got onto that a lot sooner. So if I understand it correctly, we place one here, and then we place one at the start here. And if there's a train sitting here, and another train is trying to get into here, it'll then stop and wait for it over here on this track. But then what I need to make sure is that I don't end up with another collision over here. Hang on. Why are they blinking? What's going on here? Oh. Are these the remains? God damn. Okay, so these colored lines represent the segments of the track. And so what we want to do is separate the segments. And so if one of the segments is occupied... Wow, rude. So basically, if one of these segments is occupied by another train, other trains trying to get to it will stop at the previous segment until it's cleared up. That's going to solve my train collision problem that I just had. And I can't believe it's taken until now for me to actually fix it. I just need to now run around and make sure that these trains can get around to where they are. Oh, hang on a minute. I can use these signals to direct where the trains are allowed to go. Is that right? I do something like this. Yeah, so now they can only go this way. Okay, that's how we can prevent head-on collisions. Oh, but then how do I signal something like this? Yeah, let's try and think of this. So segment that off, segment that, so a train can sit on here, run that and run that. No, hang on, that. So a train can sit on there. This connects up. Oh, hang on, they all join up. That's weird. This comes down south. And then we got this messy thing. Okay, whoop. That was close. Okay, we don't want to cross the track here because that would just be silly. Oh, and then this thing's red because there's just a massive segment going all the way around. Okay, that's fine. And then we have to deal with this. So that goes the other way. This heads down, this heads up. Again, that heads right, that heads left. Line these up. Okay. So if anything's entering this junction, the other trains can't go in. That doesn't feel very efficient. Because what if the trains are going different directions? Oh, this is a mess. Maybe I'll just leave it for now. Oh, I don't like how these are overlapping. Can we connect these as separate? Kinda. And then we've got this mess to deal with. So this can only travel upwards. This can only travel downwards. Oh, this is doing my head in. And then this can come around. Forms that. So we don't have a collision in here. Ugh. I don't like this. I'm probably putting way too many of these down. Maybe that'll do. I hope. Let's segment these off. Segment this off. Then that becomes a segment. And so does that. Oh, this is a mess. Absolute total mess. But it works, so I'm not touching it. Okay, rails down. Let's put these across. And we need to block it off over there too. Plastic's going to go past. Or not. Now we need to sort this out. These are two separate pieces of track, or they need to be at least. And so's this. And then we come down here. Segment those. Segment that. There we go. And that becomes a junction. That becomes a join. And that becomes another piece. I think that's everything. Okay, so if we look at the train network now, the copper train is coming in. It's full. And then it's going to empty itself, which we can then use to make copper wires. Yes. And just like that, we should be good. Let's power these guys up. Oh yeah, look at that. We have a full bus. Okay, so that's our third copper wire bus. So this will be where the green circuits get delivered to the train. Somehow I then need to expand this. I think this is at maximum throughput. Well, this will be at maximum capacity when we're actually using up the circuits. So I need to source iron from somewhere else. Yeah, it's really difficult to tell what our throughput's going to be like when it's not actually running. Okay, so that's going to fill up the other side now, which we certainly don't have the capacity to maintain, but we'll just see how this goes. And that should start up production here. Okay, so my question is, how much iron do we have, and can we afford to split any? I think we have enough iron to afford being able to split into one more set of these. Oh man, these pots are so slow. So these two wafers are dedicated for supporting the blue circuit production and the red. And then this wafer here is just dedicated to supplying the train line, which will then run the electronic circuits around the rest of the factory. Mainly it'll be coming down to here so we can build the splitters, but also so we can build the electric engines. And then we also need to split them off probably around here, join them up with the red circuits and make our modules here. We need speed modules and productivity modules. So while I wait for all this to happen, let's design up the module crafting. Should be pretty simple. All we need is maybe a few of these. This is going to be for the productivity modules, which we need a lot of for science. So let's make sure we don't underproduce here. And then we can split this off. And it's an even distribution of red and greens, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5 greens, 5 reds. So then we bring the greens around. Where are we going to actually get them from? And then my plan was to bring that to the train. It'll come down here. So the productivity's here, speed's here, and then batteries were going to go in here. There we go. These guys are still going. Oh, that makes sense. Batteries are completely out of charge. Okay, here we go. Where in my spaghetti? My meatballs. Can I just mine them? Oh, I can just pick them up. Screw charging them, I'll just pick them up. There we go, look at it. Awesome. There we go. Productivity. Cool, so, oh yes. So we have productivity modules. We have 4 out of 6 items done. What if we copied this, flipped it, but instead ran this upwards, ran this across, and then instead of productivity, these guys can be making speed modules. And then I need to do a splitter. Let's cut this off for now. Let's do a splitter. This on one side is going to be productivity modules, and on the other side will be the speed modules. Yeah, and then that's what we need. So the speed modules can then be sent off to make assembly machine 3s and other things, and then the productivity modules can be sent off to make production science. Yeah, okay, so that's 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 of our goal for today. That's pretty good.